Hello everyone. I'm gonna go over the first step in designing a website. So you want to always check the class lectures tab to access the support files that I've posted here for you. So the very first step is defining the project, which means that you want to have a creative brief and answer these questions. What is your project and what is its scope? And that involves doing some research and looking at the competition. And the second question you want to ask is, what is this project important? Why? What are you trying to achieve? Maybe it's outdated. Maybe its interface has glitches. Maybe you just have a new idea of business and you want to promote that. So you want to find out what is exactly the objective that you're trying to achieve. Then you want to identify your target audience, and the more specific, the better. And I'm going to get to this in a minute, but moving on here, this is kind of a summary. Then you want to figure out what your budget is and how much you think it's going to cost to create the site. And then you want to outline the date and descriptions for your deliverables. So again, you define the site, you develop the site structure, you design the visual interface, and then you build it through HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, and so on, or CMS for that matter, and then you launch and troubleshoot as needed. So we're gonna do for basically we're gonna cover these two steps in this video. So as you can see from the snapshot, trying to please everyone pleases no one. So different type of personas warrant different designs. So for example, Dale, he wants a car that hauls big loads and is reliable. Margie wants a car that is safe, probably for the kids, and comfortable. And Alejandro is to have a fun car and that drives really fast. So if we try to combine a car that's going to satisfy these three people, well, that's how the car is going to look like, which is obviously not good. So we definitely want to spend time in terms of researching who will visit our website. So for example, if you are designing a website for a restaurant, if your target audience is people who are very wealthy and live in Beverly Hills, for example, your website is going to dramatically look different than, let's say, if you're designing a website for like a beach location that is close to a university with a lot of students who are not wealthy. So obviously the look and the feel of these two websites are going to be dramatically different. So you want to spend some time figuring out, okay, where is this restaurant located? What is the target audience in this, that are based on the food, based on the prices. So that's how you want to and then you want to target those people. And then you want to look at the competition, go to other websites that within the same, let's say, price range or location, and see look what they offer and how their websites look like. So the research is very, very important. The second part, so again, so we're spending some time defining the audience, looking at the competition, having different scenarios for users, and then we move into creating a sitemap and a wireframe, and then we get to the design. So right now we are in this discovery phase at this point. As you can see, discovery, concepting, and prototype and testing. And again, this is another great graphic that kind of goes over the same steps. Discovery, then you have all the different steps that I just mentioned before finally you get to phase 6, which is launching the site. So this research part is extremely important, because based on what you're going to learn here, you're going to narrow down your target audience, your the direction of your design, and so forth. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, once you complete the research phase, we're going to move into this creating the sitemap and wireframe. And so this video will only cover the sitemap and wireframe, and in another video I will discuss the mood board. So a sitemap is basically reflects all the different pages that you have on your website based on the different hierarchies. So for example, this is the main buttons on the page. You can see there are two series of them. These ones on the left side and these are on the right side, and these are the buttons are hosted within the they're called like children. So they're basically inside of these other main buttons. So what a sitemap again does, it's allows you to plan in terms of how many pages you need on your website, how many sub pages you have on your website, if you have videos or interactive content on your website. So all those things will be, it would be that visual presentation of creating, that diagram. So these are, some of them are more complex than others, but you can kind of get a sense of how you can create like a basic sitemap, that when the developer gets this document, they know exactly how many pages and sub pages they need to build. So this is another link that I've provided for you in order to kind of read on your own and have better understanding on how to create a sitemap. And we can use Illustrator or there are many programs. FigJam is another program that you could use, or as I mentioned, Illustrator is widely popular with creating sitemaps. So here is a video on how to create a sitemap
to dancewear in 2011
from scratch. From in Photoshop as well as Illustrator. I will provide you with additional tools, but for now I think that either program would work perfectly fine with creating your sitemap. And then so that's basically what the sitemap is, and you're required to create one for next week, which I'll discuss on the weekly class video. So here's another video on wireframes. So wireframes are a little bit different. They're the bone structure of your web page. They're literally like the skeleton of your web page. So they're not usually visual design. This is, you do this part prior to actually starting on your mood board and your design process. So again, this is an example of a wireframe. You can see that they're based on 3 different viewing modes, one on your MacBook Pro or desktop, one on your iPad, and one on your phone. So it basically shows you how they're going to appear, and this is what you would pitch to the client. And any box that has a cross going through it means it's an image, and boxes without the cross, or video, like these are videos, and boxes without the cross mean they're text. they have text inside of them. So again, this is what you would start with. Then you would create your mood board. Then you create your visual design, like based on this wireframe. So based on this wireframe, you create your mood board, and then you would design your pages. And this is the final design draft. So the wireframe is very crucial in terms of, pitching it to the client, making sure that, everything is balanced and visually works good, and and before you jump into spending hours and hours on creating your design. So these are again more examples, and this is how you would read the vocabulary. This is an image, this is a video, logo. So the text information, you can just put it in there. And that's basically how you would read and create a wireframe. And here also is another example that goes into details in terms of how you want to read and design your wireframes. And this is a great video that I like you to watch to better understand this process.